Good morning, everybody. Still got morning milking underway here. Got the calves all in their holding pen and got the cows up and got my day started. Let's see if we can film some of this for you. Okay. Didn't mean to leave you guys. I was just doing some behind the scenes stuff. So these calves are still learning how to be tied next to the cow. Still not sure how I feel about that, but it's definitely better than, you know, shoving them out of the parlor. So this group of cows is almost done. This cow is. Of course, calf drinks some of her milk, so she doesn't have as much, but calf also makes a faster milk letdown. These cows are still milking very slowly, but almost done, so I'll change these milkers and get another shift of cows in and go from there. And I gotta go in there and get 2 calves out for the cows that don't have their calves up. Okay, so sorry about the hand. We got the Jersey there, Radecchia and Rapunzel. This is a mother-daughter duo. The Jersey, she's dirty. Jerseys are always dirty. She's a three-titter, so we've got that kinked over. And she loves to step and prance because she's a Jersey, so she always has dirty feet. She always swats at the milker. Doesn't kick you, doesn't kick the milker off, but she steps all over the place and gets mud all over the milker. These two don't let their milk down unless they've got their calves, but their calves are too big and know how to knock the milkers off even if they're tied. So I do still shove them out, but which they went out pretty easy today, but sometimes they get kind of difficult to shove out. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Glenn. This is Fine Line Farm. We milk Lynch lineback cattle, do grass-fed beef. We retail all of our beef. And we do pasture lamb and pasture pork. And our pork, which you can see some of the piggies out there right now, our pigs, they're English large blacks. They live in the field. They've always lived in the field. They're born in the field. I think we're 5 generations this year of pigs born on this farm, never seeing the inside of a concrete barn. Anyway, what we do is we calf share with these cows, and that means they get to raise their calves. We don't take the calves from them. We separate the calves at night, and then we milk the cows in the morning, reunite them with their calves, and feed the milk to our pigs. And last year we went through a big drought, and that was hard. We fed a lot of hay. And this year we started out with too much rain, then went through a dry spell, no rain. Now this year, we went through a dry spell with no rain, and then this past 2 months it started to rain, and rain and rain and rain. Now we've got this weird problem. We've got all kinds of grass, beautiful grass, lush, knee-high grass, and there's nothing in it. We haven't had an incredibly hot summer since it started raining beginning of July. We haven't had a lot of sun, and our grass just is taking up more water than it's photosynthesizing into sugar. So our cows are basically eating celery, and our cows are milking terribly. I'm making the same amount of milk almost on 15 cows this year as I was on 9 last year. Partly because we're milking 7 2-year-olds, and I never expect much from the 2-year-olds. But if I don't milk them as 2-year-olds, they'll never make 3 and 4-year-olds. Here's a 3-year-old. She's not milking that great, and she got really skinny last year, but she bred back as a 3-year-old, as a 2-year-old. And she bred back, calved, and she's going skinny again. So I don't know if she'll breed back this year or not. But I've started out there in the hay feeder. There's always a bale of second cut, so they come up for about an hour in the evening. Before I separate the calves, they get to eat at that bale, and then it takes me about an hour to milk, so they have access to that bale. I brought a bale in here and put it behind these gates, and I feed that in the manger because we are grass fed. So that's giving them hay, and I've started putting the first cut bale of hay out in the pasture. And I set a bale out last night, gave them a new stretch of grass, and they barely touched the grass at all, and they devoured that whole bale of hay. It was a beautiful bale of first cut. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. I can't feed a bale of hay a day. That's what I was doing last year in the drought, but hopefully we get some sunlight here and that grass changes, and I'm just gonna continue to supplement a little bit of hay. Maybe I'll just give them a bale every other day. But we don't make a lot of money off our milk, just because it's going into the pigs, and the conversion of grass into a cow, into milk, into a pig is a rather poor conversion. But I can talk more about it and how I justify it in the future in another video. I do have to stop and change these milkers. But yeah, if the cows aren't milking good, that means my steers aren't gaining good either. So some of the challenges we have. Anyway, I'll change these milkers and then we will bring in another batch of cows. I'll just bring you back over here to my trusty little tripod, which is a screw and a beam. And I'll try not to get my hand in the way too much. And hopefully you see what I'm doing. And you kicked it off. Flies are kind of sleepy today, which is making the cows kick. I have the fan off so you can hear me better, and the fan tends to keep flies down. And the other thing is, when you have cows that aren't producing a lot of milk, it's not the same release of pressure off their udders, so they don't look forward to being milked nearly as much as a heavy producing milk cow. Calves seem to know when their mothers come in. 9 times out of 10, they stand at the gate waiting for me. So this stall here, I'm able to tie that calf back far enough that she doesn't knock the milker off, and then this cow naturally crowds to the other side, although this calf now seems to want to bug this milker, so I might need to rethink my tying the calves up. And then this little girl doesn't need a calf on her. Anyway, folks, oh, there's the Jersey, always stealing the spotlight. I'm gonna sign off here. Just want to give you a little morning update, talk about what's going on here with our grass. Later this week we should be wrapping some second cut hay. I'll try to do a video on that. Weather keeps changing, our hay is cut, it looks like it's gonna rain. I also like to get our bulls moved home for breeding season, but they're kind of landlocked behind a field of third cut hay, and the fellow that owns the land wants the hay cut before I drive across the field to pick them up. So hopefully that gets done on time so we could breed cows on time and not be late over some foolishness. And then also got to separate our bred gilts from our feeder pigs. So I've got a busy week ahead of us. I'll try to make a few videos about that and keep you updated. Anyway, till then, take care, folks.